Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is AbyssSays, and in this video I'm going to talk about how you can beat this version 5.3 Abyss and what you should know before attempting this Abyss. And if you find my voice sounded strange, I apologize because I'm sick. So anyways, I apologize for my voice not being great. So yeah, let's get back to the video. So the first chamber, first half, the first wave is the Yumkasaurus, which is not really important. So we've moved on to this Mountain King, the Yumkasaur Mountain King. So yeah, it has 70% Dendro resistance. If you really want to use like Dendro teams on the top half, it's okay. I think it's possible, but not really recommended. Because Dendro teams is like better on the bottom half because of the Abyss War. Dendro is one of the best reactions to break the shield. So yeah, I recommend to have Dendro teams on the bottom half. So yeah, another thing you have to know about when beating this Yumkasaur is that at one point it spits out 3 flame grenades, and then if you apply pyro on it, it bursts. And if all 3 of them are applied with pyro, all of them will burst and then will paralyze the Yumkasaur Mountain King for like 8 seconds. And I didn't really find anything on the wikis that says that when it's paralyzed, there will be Dendro resistance threat. Yeah, I didn't find any of those. So if I'm wrong, please correct me down in the comments. Alright, proceed to the second half. Same with the top half. It's the Ictomisaurus. The first wave, it's just there to stall time, so yeah, we can just neglect that. And then here we got this new boss. So this boss, after like 5 seconds when it spawned out, it will summon 4 cryo sculptures that has 8 units of cryo shield, which is like equivalent to a cryo slime, and it will become invisible. And the shield would be reactable with other elements like pyro, so the pyro would be the best, and it could be frozen by the characters from the Masters of the Nightwind by using their aim shots like Silali and Noron. And you don't need to aim all of them in order to make all of them frozen. If you manage to freeze one, all of them will get frozen, and you will remove 25% of their shields. And of course, this doesn't stack, so when they are frozen or you are aiming more than one, they won't remove more than 35%. And then after you break all of the ice sculptures, it will just get paralyzed. And there's gonna be resistance threat, 40% resistance threat for all elements and physical. And then I forgot to say that it's 30% all types resistance and 70% cryo resistance. So yeah, after it's paralyzed, it will be negative 30 all types resistance and 30% cryo resistance. So the second chamber, the first half, also it's there to stall time, but one thing I have to say is that they are really hard to group. Grouping is not really necessary because they are not really agile, they don't really move much. On the second wave, we have this Solitary Swanee. It's here after 1 year Genshin released it. So the Solitary Swanee has 70% hydro and animal resistance and 10% all type resistance. And when it's like releasing its adapter energy, like when it's going in hydro mode where you can freeze it, or when it summons 3 animal balls, yeah, that's when it summons adapter energy. All of its resistance will add up by 200. So during the phase, it will be 210% all type resistance and 270% hydro and animal resistance. So it's best to like use the mechanic and not just like brute force through it. I don't really recommend, although I did do it on my first video and we don't talk about that. The first mechanic is that it infuse himself with pyro, and then you can just freeze it and then proc shatter with Geo or any claymore characters, or you can just do melt. Yeah, that's the first mechanic. And then the second mechanic is it summons 3 animal balls rotating in yeah, so it summons 3 animal balls rotating counterclockwise, and then you can just go clockwise and then infuse and then break it with elements that react with animal, just like the 4 elements: pyro, hydro, electro, cryo. So yeah, any cryo characters plus a pyro character or any characters that could do shatter to a frozen enemy, like punch attacks or jaw attacks or just claymore attacks, those blunt attacks. And then if you had a cryo character or pyro character on the team, the second mechanic is like really easy to break it, to use it. So yeah, that's all for the Solitary Swanee. And for the second half, I will talk with the third chamber because they have the Abyssal Walk, which is the same that you need multiple elemental attacks to break the Shadow Walk. Yeah, the properties are the same, but the Papilla has a 14-second charging time. After the 14 seconds and you don't break the shield, it bursts and the attack is almost insta-kill, so it's best to break the Papilla shield. And also when the shield is not broken, the Papilla will remain on 70% all type resistance. So yeah, it's a lot and I really recommend to break it because after it's broken and then it's paralyzed, the resistance will drop down to 0, and then when it wakes up, it will just pick up half of the previous resistance. Like the previous resistance is 70%, it only picks up 35% of the elemental all type resistance. And then different with the boss on the third chamber, the boss needs 72 times of elemental attack, while this needs 104. I think that's like 33 more times elemental attacks needed compared to the boss. But this one doesn't have a time limit, it doesn't insta-kill you, like you can just take your time. And I've talked about like what teams that are really useful on breaking this shield. It's like Hyper Bloom team, Rider National breaks it like really good, but you need full energy. Natlan teams, of course, especially Auron and Chaska, they are like badass. And also Kinich, because burning is also one of the useful elemental reactions that you can use to break this shield efficiently. And then also fast attackers like Yelan, Xingqiu, Koran, yeah, these guys. And then also Taser teams, they are like really good. And then on the updated video on the last version, I talked about there's 2 characters that are really useful on breaking these shields. One is Tainari. And another one is Betsy. Tainari is only good when he's paired with another pyro applicator like Bennett, but I'm not sure about this because I haven't tried it. But I do think it's an effective way to break the shield. So yeah, any teams that has Bennett and then has a free 4th slot, you can bring Tainari. And for Venti, he does about 20 damage instances with his burst, and if his burst was infused with other elements, it will deal double the damage. And also the burst procs swirl damage per 1 second, so it's about 7 damage instances per second. So yeah, if you have a free 4th slot on the team and you need a resistance shredder support like Venti on VV, yeah, you can just use Venti on the bottom half. The Wild is the first time appearing on this floor 12, but it's actually like really easy to beat it. And then before it summons the shield and then suck all your energy, you have a 5-second buffer time to just throw all you can. If you are okay, you can do 2 bursts before it summons the shield, and if you are really good, you can just do 3 bursts before it summons the shield and suck all your energy. And then the durability of the shield it summons is equals to about 110% of the Wild's max HP, so you can just do any damage to break it. And then when it summons the shield, sucks all your energy, it creates a field that when characters are inside, they deal 120% increased damage, and additional 60% damage increase for Night Soul aligned damage. So yeah, if you have 9 characters, it's pretty easy to break it. And then if you are not able to break a shield in time, the remaining durability of the white shield, I call it white shield, the remaining durability of the white shield will convert to a cryo shield. It's the best to break it in time, or else it's gonna waste a lot of time. After you break the shield in time, it gives back all elemental energy to all characters in your team, and then it gets paralyzed. So yeah, and then the second wave, we have this mech. I have no idea why it's here, because compared to all of the enemies, everyone has a mechanic and everyone is special. Except for this, I have no idea why this guy is here. So now we talk about the mechanics. We can talk about like which character is like really good on which half and which character is like really good on this abyss. So Malvika, if you have seen these buffs, of course, like Night Soul aligned damage, pyro damage, and then this blessing is like triggers a shockwave after a pyro related reaction is occurred. And obviously it's a Malvika Abyss. So yeah, Malvika top half, bottom half, she's like really good on both sides. And on the bottom half, she's not really that efficient on breaking the Abyss shield. So yeah, remember to bring another Netland character, or you can just bring another high damage proccing team like Burning Cheska. Cheska, I would say that she's okay on both sides, because on the top half, she could like break the Swani's mechanic on her own if you have a Cryo and Pyro teammate on your team, and she could just freeze the Swani and then melt it like instantly, and she's not burst reliant. She's also a Netland character, so she could beat the Wild really efficiently. And also on the bottom half, she's also really great on breaking the Abyssal Shield. So yeah, top and bottom half, really recommended. And Kinich, because there's this Junkasaur Mountain King, which has 70% Dendro resistance. It's not really really effective on the top half. So yeah, bottom half he goes. Mualani is actually not really great, because there's this Swani that has 70% Hydro resistance on the top half, and she does not really do well on breaking the Abyss Shield. If you have a really good build on her, I would recommend on the top half instead of the bottom. So Burning team on the bottom half, Torrent, like I say, Taser team on the bottom half, or Aggravate team is also really good. The top half was okay because she's not really affected in any way, so yeah, both sides is okay. Arlecchino could do both sides because the top half, of course, it's a pyro friendly chamber. And then on the bottom half, if like I say, if you bring a Bennett and then Tainari, you can break the shield very fast. You can just bring Auron and do Overload. Arlecchino, top and bottom half, it's okay. Chiori, I'm not really sure, but I do think that the top half is better than the bottom half, because I don't think that she has really fast attack to break the Abyss Shield. So yeah, top half. And then for plunging teams like Xiao and Gaming, so we talk about Gaming first. Gaming is actually okay on the top half because he's Pyro, but you have to beware of the Wild on the third chamber, because Gaming is quite reliant on his burst. On the bottom half, I don't really recommend, because in order to him to break the shield, you need to have a Dendro character to proc, or you need an Auron there to do Overload. But if you slot a Dendro character in the team, who else you are gonna replace on the team? Because from what I know, Gaming's team is Gaming, Xianyun, Hydro Applicator, mostly Furina, and then Bennett. So yeah, maybe you can just replace Bennett and put a Dendro character, because Xianyun herself has healing, but you lost Bennett's attack bonus. So yeah, if you want him on the bottom half, you could do it. But if you want to slot Auron, you couldn't really slot Chevreuse in it unless you don't bring Xianyun, because Chevreuse only works if the team only includes Pyro and Electro characters in the team. And then for Xiao, for what I know, Xiao's meta team is C6 Farousia, Xiao, Xianyun, and Furina. And on the top half, you have the Swani that is 70% animal resistance, and you have the Wild that sucks all the energies. And I think Xiao's team really relies on the burst to work, and you have the Abyssal Shield that Xiao wasn't really great on breaking it, so Xiao wasn't really good on this Abyss yet again. So yeah, sorry about that. Navia, I'm not really sure, but I do think same with Chiori, she's really good on the top half. Risley, if we are gonna talk about Risley, we can also talk about Ayaka, because both of them are the best cryo DPSs. If you want to play Risley and Ayaka, top half, because both of them can freeze the Swani, and for Ayaka, her team usually consists of either Kazuha or Shilonen. Both can proc Shatter. For Risley, the team will also consist Kazuha, Shilonen, and also Xiangling. So all of them could proc Shatter or Vade. And for the Wild, the buffer time is enough for Ayaka and Shenhe to release their burst, so their damage will be enough to break the White Shield. And for Risley, the time is enough for Bennett and Xiangling's burst, and Risley just need to do normal attacks, and that's all. Nouvellette, so this is the plan for the developers to nerf Nouvellette in the Abyss. But funny enough, I had Nouvellette hypercarry on the top half and I killed it effortlessly. And then also on the bottom half, if you had Auron, you can just do Nouvellette, Furina, and then Kazuha Auron. Or you can just be like me that doesn't really care about the duplicate City buffs. You can just do two Netland characters like Auron, Silali, or Shilonen on the team. So yeah, and also someone to break the cryo shield. Remember, you need someone to break the cryo shield on the bottom half. Yeah, I forgot about that, but I think that the teams that I talk about that could go on the bottom half could break the cryo sculptures fairly easily. Lini, I would say if you had the skills, you can replace Dendro characters like Tonalamatl on the team instead of Zhongli, and then you can just do burning and then just clear the Abyss shield. But of course, like other pyro DPSs, Lini is like really good on the top half. So yeah, Lini on the top half. If you want to do the bottom half, yeah, bottom half is okay. Item, I don't think that he's like really useful this time, even though he's like the best Dendro driver in the game, but he's not really that useful because we are just gonna talk about Hyperbloom teams now. So Hyperbloom teams, I do recommend them on the bottom half because the top half has the Yukasaw that has really high resistance, but if you had a really good build, it will be negligible. But Hyperbloom teams are like the most free to play way to break the Abyss shield. So yeah, I do recommend Hyperbloom teams on the bottom. So Nahida, Xingqiu, Cookie, the Hyperbloom trio, and then the fourth slot. You had to be really careful on the fourth slot this time because one, on the first chamber bottom half, you have to break the cryo sculpture. There you need either double electro, or you want to clear it faster, you can just slot a pyro character like Xiangling in it. And then also with a pyro character, you can just proc burning, which increases the overall shield breaking efficiency of the Abyss shield. So yeah, if the fourth slot is another electro character or pyro character, our Hatem won't be like really useful in this Abyss. For Wanderer, I have heard about that C6 Wanderer is like really good on breaking the Abyssal shield, but that's just all I heard. I haven't heard like low constellation Wanderer is like okay on breaking the Abyssal shield, but I do think he's okay with the right team. I haven't really seen a Wanderer team on the bottom half before or on the last Abyss breaking the Abyssal shield, so yeah, I might make an update video if I saw it in the next half a month. Nilou, yeah, Nilou wasn't really great because of the Dendro resistance on the top half and also the Hydro resistance on the top half, which like if you had a really good Nilou, you want to do Nilou bait, that won't be really good because of the Hydro resistance on the Swanee. And then on the bottom half, she's like really slow on breaking the Abyssal shield, and then she couldn't really break the cryo sculptures because Dendro and Hydro does nothing on cryo shield. So yeah, Nilou wasn't really great on this Abyss. Sino aggravate team on the bottom half I would recommend. On the top half, aggravate team is also like really good, so yeah, if you want to go Sino, top half, bottom half will be okay. And also, he could be the fourth electro character that I say when you are choosing to do a Hyperbloom team. Yeah, Sino could be the fourth electro character in the team. Tighnari aggravate wasn't really great on breaking the Abyssal shield, but like I said, you can just include him with a team with Bennett and then just do burning. It's really fast. And then Dory, I found that Dory is okay on breaking the shield because her burst can do 30 damage instances. So yeah, Dory, if you want to do it on the bottom half, you can do it on the bottom half. Not really on the top half because she applies electro on the characters and you have the Yukasaw that does large pyro damage that would proc overload on your character. Or you have the Swanee that does Hydro damage would proc vaporize on your character, so not really recommended on the top half. Ayato will be okay on the bottom half if he replaced Xingqiu as the Hydro applicator on the Hyperbloom team. So yeah, if you want to play Ayato Hyperbloom team on the bottom half, and also if you want to play Raid, like you can slot Tighnari in it, but the team is like left without support or shielders like Kazuha or Zhongli or Sitalis. If you had a really good Ayato, I would recommend, but if your Ayato wasn't really well built, yeah, not really. Ito, I don't think he's a really good character on breaking the shield, so he's okay on the top half because there's not really any challenges for him. So yeah, Ito on the top half. Raiden, as you had seen on my two videos on this run, both top and bottom half are okay. So on the top half, if you had a really good Raiden build, you can just neglect the mechanics of the Swanee and then just bring Raiden overload like Raiden, Xiangling, Chevreuse, and Bennett. Or you can just replace Sarah with Xiangling, but I do really recommend if you are playing overload, you have to bring Xiangling because she's really good on igniting the flame grenade of the Yunkusaw. And if you want to play Raiden Hyper Carry, I would recommend. It's okay, but you have to beware that you couldn't really break the white shield in time. So yeah, beware of that. And then For Rider National top half is okay. Also, Rider National is okay on the bottom half, which is funny for me. Like a team from the 2.0 versions still could effectively clear the abyss, whether top and bottom half, which just I find it really funny. Yoimiya is like really good on breaking the abyssal shield because she's a fast attacker, and then along with Qilin and then Fischl, she could break the shield in no time. And she's also really good on the top half because she's also a pyro DPS. So yeah, top and bottom half both are okay. Eula is actually okay on the top half this time because she usually has Bennett on her team, and Bennett could ignite the flame grenades of the Imkasor, and also she could counter the Swanny's first mechanic all by her own. She could just freeze the Swanny and shatter it because she's Claymore, and if you are fast enough, she could unleash all the necessary buffs and open her burst in time before the Wyop sucks all the energy. So yeah, Eula is okay on the top half, but on the bottom half, she's not really a good Abyss shield breaker. So yeah, if you want to play Eula, top half. So Hu Tao, it's a pyro friendly Abyss this time. So yeah, if you want Hu Tao on the top half, no problem. But on the bottom half, I don't really recommend because she's not really good on breaking the Abyssal shield. So yeah, Hu Tao, top half. Ganyu, I'm not really sure about Ganyu. You can do Burning Team to sustain the pyro application on the enemy, so she could go on the bottom half. Or on the top half, she doesn't have any challenges on the top half except for the Wyop. I'm not really sure that she could break the white shield fast enough before the Wyop's mechanic ends. Tartaglia wasn't really like a really good character this time because on the top half you had the Swanny that has 70% hydro resistance, and on the bottom half he wasn't really a good candidate on breaking the abyssal shield. So yeah, so Klee, she's a pyro DPS, so if you had her built really well and you want to play her, she could go on the top half. And also from a friend from the comments on the last video, Klee's skill explodes into 8 mines at the end and will further explode after 13 seconds, which is about the same of the mechanics of the Papilla. So yeah, she could technically do some extra damage instances to the Abyss shield. Technically, she could be on the bottom half. I'm not really sure about that, but technically that's possible. If anyone has tried Klee on the bottom half, you can let me know in the comments. I'll gladly appreciate it. Keqing, last time I saw that Keqing Aggravate is really good on breaking the Abyssal Shield. So yeah, Keqing if you want on the bottom half. Top half wasn't a really bad choice either because there's not really a challenge. They look same with Gami. If you want to go to the top half is okay. Bottom half, not really recommended. So to sum up, Pyro characters and Cryo characters, good on the top half. But Hydro characters, Animal characters, and Dendro characters, not really. If you want to brute force it, and you have a really good build, then just go for it, but I don't really recommend. And also Electro characters is okay on the top half, and just beware of any burst reliant characters. Yeah, the Wyop might be a challenge for you. So on the bottom half, a Pyro character or double Electro character on this chamber, and Hyper Bloom or Rational or Burning teams or Netland characters or Taser teams, or you can just slot in any teams that has a free force slot with Venti or Tighnari. Especially Tighnari, you need a Bennett in the team. So yeah, that's all I can sum up for this Abyss. And I might make another update video about almost the end of this Abyss. So yeah, that's all for now, and I hope this guide helps you. And if you find this helpful, you can just leave a like and comment, and just leave a subscribe. I will appreciate it. And it's time for me to go to bed. Bye.